Good morning or afternoon or whatever. Hello. All right, there's the disclaimer. This weekend, I'll probably do a longer video about the Fed and what's going on in the future. But for now, let's just look at where we're at. We're below the 5-day moving average. We went below Friday. We stayed below today, and we're continuing below now. As I said, the next most likely stop is the 18-day moving average right here at 28,474. This is futures because I want to look at oil after this. But yeah, that's the next most likely stop. And then from there, we'll see where we go. VIX, I'm still bullish on this. Let's see if we hold this gap and continue to push up. Sure looks like it. Have we crossed that yet? It does not look like it. No, but it has broken out if you go by this. But that would have been right here, which we've made a lower low than that. So we still haven't broken out, but this looks promising. We're above the 5 moving up there on the hourly. And it looks like we may get the Bollingers to pinch and spike. Does the NASDAQ look like it's going to drop? Yeah, it's below the 5. You're getting the 50 to cross the 200. That should push it down. Then you'll most likely get a retest and then drop again. So those both look to be in sync. Now let's look at oil. Oil looks like it's turning down here, but it's still above. You're above 50's above the 200. 50's green, 200's yellow, always on mine. You're above the 5. Your Bollingers are flat. You're below resistance here, but well above support. And the moving averages are in sync. Let's look at the daily. Daily looks good. I mean, this looks like it wants to push up. See how the Bollingers are pinching and this is starting to lift? This is starting to want to move up. I think we may get a challenge of the Bollinger here. 108. I think we go higher than that. I think we go 109, 110 and really start to push this Bollinger up. Gold looks to be dropping below the 5-day moving average. Bollingers are pointing down. 50's pointing down. Next logical stop is the 200 right here. And that's at 43.58. 43.50 we'll call it. And that should coincide with taking us over here to the dollar. Dollar should be rising. Oh, how did I get on 5-minute? There's the hourly. There's your triangle. Dollar broke out of that. Now it's retesting this. We move to the daily. We can see the 50 across the 200. We're above the 50 and the 5 and the 200, and we're all pointing up here. So this looks like a rise in the dollar, which would mean gold down, which we looked at, and it would mean oil up, which I also believe. Here's USO. This is oil. Look at that. We got a nice bullish ascending wedge here from Mumu. Excellent. Let's see what it says. May 18th, bullish, resistance 154. All right, I'll take that. Which we already hit. That's funny. So once we break through resistance, then we should be flying. And it should be just a general way to test these. Hey, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to draw a line. There. So usually that's about how far you break out. So that would put us at 192 for USO. Fantastic. I'll take that. Okay. So now we'll go to the cues. Let me shut this nonsense off. And I'll review just like futures. We are below the 5-day moving average. We've crossed over here on RSI. And so the next logical stopping point below the 5-day moving average is bearish. Above the 5-day moving average is bullish. See all this? You are above the 5-day moving average. Always above the 5-day moving average. Between the 5-day moving average and the Bollinger, that's a squeeze. That's what this has been doing for quite a while. And now it's over. So see what happens when you get below the 5-day. You can bounce around and do all kinds of stuff, or you can squeeze down. We're clearly not squeezing down because the Bollingers are spread way apart right now. So you're just dropping for now. And the next logical stopping point is the 18 MA. That's your next support here. And it's above this gap. So it would be gap. What's the word I'm looking for? Defense. It would be the bulls defending that gap. And that's right at 686. So that's a hefty move. So looking at the hourly, again, this looks like a head here and your shoulder and shoulder. So I would think that would put the drop somewhere here, which is 691 for the first bounce, probably. Maybe 698. That would make sense. But ultimately, I think you come down here. Ultimately, I believe you come way down. But let's take it one day at a time. And for right now, we're just no longer squeezing up. We're below the 5-day moving average, so we don't have the rapid buy the dip crowd. And so your next logical rapid buy the dip crowd would be around 686. So that's all we're looking at there. And oil looks bullish. Now, if we look at some hyperuraniums, these some of these had divergence on the hourly and others did not. Lightbridge was one. Oklo was not one. SMR was, I thought it was one. Not one. But these, I believe, are range bound. And so I'm not not really bullish on these, although I am bullish to accumulate these long term. But this, I mean, SMR should close the gap here. Oklo, same thing, close the gap. I wouldn't be surprised if it even drops and closes these gaps. Same with Lightbridge, although I think Lightbridge holds this low. So I'm interested to see what these start doing. Longer term, these are what I want to own. I want to have these for the next decade or so, maybe longer. But they're just not in favor yet. What is in favor is oil. I mean, high peak, look at this thing. This thing's getting ready to just fly off the handle. I mean, look at that. Look at it turning up. Look at that thing. 6% today, and this is just getting started. Bohr had a great day. Look at that. We got a bullish continuation right there. Even Moo recognizes it. Any fine dude will tell you that's a breakout. EC, I didn't even notice EC had a 5% today. It was 1% when I said it looked great. The other one that I called the breakout on, how come it's not on here? It had a 7% day. There it is. This was at 1% when I said rig has broken out. I even posted it on the general. In fact, I bet oh, it's not even going to show it. Oh, yeah, it is. There I am right there. Breakout. And yes, it did. Look at that. Fantastic. That was great for my options. PBR should be breaking out. Let's take a look at Cliff. Because this one, believe it or not, I cannot get a read on. It looks good, and then it looks like trash. This looks like a rising wedge that could drop again. But we had a good day. The Bollingers are pinching. I mean, yeah. I guess you just have to have blind, dumb faith like me and Cliff for some reason. I mean, this looks good, and I don't know why. I don't know why it would. I know they're coming out of debt, so that's always good. Okay. Let's go to our sectors. Wow. Weed was the top sector. Interesting. Then defense. And then our OIH. Wow, there were a lot of green today. It's just that SOX was down 5%. That's interesting. There was a lot of green today. I mean, I had a great day, but I assumed everybody else had a miserable day. Financials. This might be where I talk about the Fed this weekend. Something's happening here. I think they're going to deregulate the banks. And I think the banks know it. KBE. Yeah, I think these are starting to turn up. Yeah, I think they are. KRE, this is the small banks. Yep, I think they're going to deregulate the banks. I think that's how they're going to help the dollar. Well, that's interesting. OIH got a 9 count today. But see how it's squeezing? Oh, that's on a weekly. It got a 9 count on a weekly, but it's squeezing on a weekly. That's how bullish OIH is. Good night. And look at this. We got a continuation again. Something's brewing in oil. I'm telling you. The VIX sniffs it out. Okay. It must be getting pretty late. I'm getting pretty talky. Oh, I wanted to look at now. Since I said now looked good for a bottom. I mean, you've got divergence here. So I thought it looked good for a bounce up to 144 at least. And then on the weekly, I mean, you could close this gap 169, 170. I thought it could make a run up here to 220. Yeah, up here to 220. And who knows, this may even be a decent bottom. I mean, this may be a bottom. That's a 9 count on a bottom. Look what this 9 count did. So, I mean, I could definitely see that. So, yeah. I put, and look, it even kept going after hours. But this morning, I gave some alerts for buys on now. Also, okay. Oxy and oil. Sure can. Do we have a breakout signal on Oxy? Nope, but I imagine we close this gap up to 62.50, and I bet we probably do it pretty quick. See how we're sitting right on this 50 here, the 50 MA, and the Bollinger's pointing up? I bet we bounce right up to that, and I bet we do it quickly. I think it wants to go there. Look at this on the weekly. Your upper Bollinger right there is 66, almost 67. So I think that's where we probably end the week, near 70. Roblox. I haven't looked in this in ages. I bought it on the cheap way back when. Not even there. It was just after it IPO'd back here. Okay. My niece was playing Roblox. I kept talking to her about it. That's turning up. I mean, this looks like a good bottom, actually. On the weekly, look how you're turning up right there. I mean, you haven't. Yeah, you have. Yep, that's a good bottom. Look at that. Look at that spike up. I bet you have a big day coming up. close that gap at least, but I think this is a good bottom. If you're a bottom fisher, yeah, and then there's your stop, 40.15, and your upside is 130, maybe even higher. Look, you've held that. This is maybe a giant cup and handle. I mean, if you bounce up here, you'll probably spend some time here and then bust out of here. But yeah, I think you're on your way up here. 90s, one something. That's a good looking play. Not my style, but if you like Roblox, yeah. As much as I hate to say it, that doesn't look bad. I think this could be what holds the markets, because I think SOX is going to continue to drop. But I think Microsoft and some of the other softwares like Roblox, I think some of these others are going to go up. And this looks like one. I think you probably, you're going to have resistance here at 462, but I think you probably close this gap. Assuming, this is all assuming like news doesn't come out and just the market dump. But this looks pretty good. I mean, pretty good to come up and close that gap. You're above the mid Bollinger. You're above the 5-day moving average. Your Bollingers are starting to pinch. This looks like a pennant, a bullish pennant. And so, yeah, I think you probably break out of there. That doesn't look bad. My solar took a dive today. I'm hoping it holds this mid Bollinger and we get a pop up. I'm hoping this was only temporary. Oh, look at that. Moo gave me a bullish sign and now it went away. And I'm sad. You do have a divergence here, although it's in the same day. We'll see how that goes. I still hold run. I still hold next. I have no desire to sell this. I think we're just retesting the breakout here. I think we're going to continue flying. IPI, same. Look at this. Look at this. You have wheat and corn both go up and IPI goes down. Someone is lying. It's IPI. Hallador looks just range bound, but look at this. It's broken out. It's just biding its time now. Suncoat could go either way. It could get a pullback here and then blow through this, or just blow through this. Based on history, it drops. But we could get a blow through first. It's getting to the point where it's going to start crossing this and reversing the other way. And I think we're at that point. I think it's done because it had this bullish divergence on the weekly. This is when I really started buying it. And so, yeah, I hope we blow through this now, get to the 870s. I keep thinking there was something else I wanted to touch on. Oh well. Let's just close looking at the dollar. I think, and I'll touch more on it this weekend, but I think the dollar's going to pop, and I think rates are going to pop, and the market's going to sell off, and everybody's going to panic. And then I think they're going to deregulate the banks as an answer. But that's just some food for thought. Oh, I wanted to look at this Zephyr because I do own a bunch of this. Okay, fantastic. Okay. Let's see where our futures are as I end this. We're dropping more. Yep. Okay. Great. So VIX should be going up. Okay, a little bit, maybe. Crude should be going up. Yep. Gold should be going down. Kinda. Oh, yeah, there it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And crude up. Yes, it is. That's the way. We like it. Okay. All right. When with that, have a great day. Be bold. Be brave. And be cautious because it's going to be all over the place out there, I think. And as always, good luck.